not going to stop the guard people as well. They're just going to keep driving. And the last thing we need is them going out into 50 and killing somebody, including themselves. So that's my big to-do and my soapbox, which is not very big, to try to help you as the community that you are. I'm devoted. I live here. This is my community just as much as it is yours, and I want to make it safer for everyone to live in. So if you guys would like to work with us more and continue to hear about the crime statistics that are going on specifically in your community, I encourage you, highly encourage you, to join up with the Crime Watch here so we can continue to partner on this and maybe come up with better ideas on what the Sheriff's Office can do to help you. That's really my end-all goal. I'm going to continue to work with Deputy Dean. Like I said, he'll be the big giant one down here. I'm the one that's... Listen, I like food. If you want to know a good restaurant, I'll show you. Other than that, I appreciate you guys having me out. Thank you for letting me go first. Thank you, thank you. Abe, do you have anything to say? It's okay, I wanted that applause. Okay, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be here all night. At my house,
Yes, and what we're going to try to do, I'm going to talk to the president on this. Eventually, we're going to see if we can have a question and answer session to some residents that may, have some questions about stuff that's not necessarily going on in the community, but maybe something that, you need some information on. But thank you two guys for coming. I appreciate it. And Crime Watch, we need volunteers. We need volunteers for Crime Watch. What's that? When is it, Mary Ellen?
The first Wednesday of the month.
First Wednesday of the month? 9 o'clock here. If anyone is interested, please come. You could sit and listen to our first meeting. And then, we want people to join. It's not a big thing. It's 1 month, one time a month. And especially a lot of the residents have golf carts. This is vigilance. This is what we need. Not that you're riding around. All we want you to do is observe. Because, how can I say it? If you see something that doesn't look right, not necessarily do you call the guardhouse, because a lot of times, they can't get involved. Right here. Call the, yes.
Yes, don't delay in that. That's the biggest issue that we have with getting to the scene. As somebody that's a drone pilot for the Sheriff's Office, if we do have somebody wandering around and we don't have to necessarily call out the air unit for that, you calling the gatehouse to then call us, we're talking 10-minute time delay, and then that's even the call getting to the deputy's car, and then that's another 5 minutes for us to get here if we're in the vicinity. So cut that other step out. The guardhouse is going to know when we're here. What's going on? We tend to tell them too. We will, hey, listen, we've got an alarm, or hey, there's somebody doing this. If our lights are flashing, they know to open the gate right away that we're going to something in progress. If it's just us pulling up and our lights are off, they probably know it's nothing too serious. So they're doing a good job up there. I don't want to take anything from the fine men and women that are up there doing that. Just if we're going to need you guys to help us speed up the process by calling right away. Call. We have the non-emergency or 911. Non-emergency is going to be 352-754-6830. 6830. Yep, call us non-emergency, and we will respond out. By all means, if you think it's an emergency, treat it as an emergency. We can always downgrade the call. So when in doubt, 911. Okay? After we determine it's not really that serious, downgrade it. If you want outcome from a deputy, you need to call us. Call us and say you want to hear an outcome. You want a call back from the deputy, or you want deputy contact in person. We are more than happy to come out and talk to you guys in person and let you know what's going on. As long as it's not detrimental to an investigation that we're doing, where we're releasing, pertinent information that would compromise the investigation, we'll absolutely come out and talk with you. So I highly encourage that. If you want to take, that part in your community, say, yes, I'd like the deputy to call me after he gets done. He doesn't need to come to my house, or she doesn't have to come to my house. Just have him give me a phone call. And we'll tell you, hey, listen, there's no trouble. We actually found out this person was a mail carrier or whatever. They just had a different vehicle, or whatever the case is. But at least it gives you some closure. That's the biggest thing, is people don't get closure, and then you're still wondering, am I in danger? Is the community in danger because this person's still out there? You want closure? Just call. Say you want a deputy to tell you what's going on in the neighborhood. You're entitled to that. Okay?
Yes. And the thing is, in order for them to help us, we have to help them. And then we have to help us as a community here. So don't turn a blind eye to anything that you might see that may wind up really not being good. So thank you so much for you two guys coming. Appreciate it.
Calling this meeting to order June 21st, 2023. It is 7:14 p.m. Is there anybody taping? Val, is that you in the back? It is? Yes. And Val Stratton is taping. Everyone, can you have a moment of silence and then we'll say the pledge. Are there any corrections to the meeting, to the minutes for the meeting on May 17th? No corrections?
Yeah.
Leo, anything for you?
I don't know why they can't hear
Any
it.
corrections for the minutes?
No.
No, okay.
Well, Susan's husband keeps calling.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor? Everyone is in favor. Now we have the correspondence. Leo, would you like to start with the correspondence? The first one's from Gil.
Right.
Okay.
June 19, 2023. With a heavy heart, due to my deteriorating health, lack of energy, stress, and PTSD, I need to tender my resignation as the Veteran Committee Chairman. My resignation is effective immediately. I thank all committee members and associates who helped and supported me to make this journey rewarding. Jill Lengto, Chairman.
Gil, are you here? No, he's out. Oh, I heard he's away. Well, Gil, we're very sorry to hear that, but we do look forward to having you stay with the RV committee.
Next letter, dated June 11, 2023. To the Brookridge Board of Directors from Robert White, President of the Social Dance Committee. We would appreciate it if you could have the sign holders on the median of Brookridge Central Boulevard inspected. They are not holding the signs securely, and on several occasions the signs have blown onto the roadway. Because of the growing number of activities and meetings going on in Brookridge, could the following be looked into? The sign holders be repaired to hold the signs securely. The sign holders be made longer to accommodate two signs securely. If not able to be made longer to hold two signs securely, could consideration be made to remake them? The signs are an important means to keep our residents informed as to what is going on in Brookridge. Any consideration or resolution to this matter would be greatly appreciated. Respectfully submitted, Robert White, President of Social Dance Committee.
Good evening, everyone. So after we received this letter, I did forward it over to Debbie, our president, and she did ask me to talk to Billy, who's our Public Works Director, And so I did leave him a note, and he's a little busy with some other projects going on, but he did assure us that he will be looking at them. If they need to be, some of them I know, like the slots, if you will, need some adjusting, so he'll maybe grind it out a little bit. And, so I know some of the screws have come loose, or some of the nails have come loose, so he will be looking at that as well. And, we just do want to remind you guys, if you do a sign, make sure it's like a vinyl sign, like from a vendor. Just a paper sign, of course, is gonna get wet and it's gonna blow. So make sure, you know, the sign is a decent sign, but he will be working on it. Some of them might need a little touch-up painting here and there, because I know the beautification committee did do a beautiful job of painting them a couple of years ago, but he will be looking into that as well. So we appreciate the letter from Mr. White, and we are looking into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next letter is from Brookridge Men's Club, dated May 27, 2023, received by us on June 2nd. BCPO Board of Directors, I would like to address our winter and fall activities for 2024 and get the board's approval for the events. We would like to continue with the community breakfast and would include the South Hall and kitchen on the following dates: January 13th, February 17th, March 16th, April 6th, October 12th, November 16th, and December 14th for the breakfast with Santa. Horse races on Wednesdays from 5 to 9 would be on January 10th, February 7th, March 6th, November 20th, and December 11th. The races would use the large hall and kitchen and would be an open event. The Halloween dance would be on October 26th from 5 to 10 p.m. Also, the car show would be on October 13th, which is on the Sunday. Thank you for your consideration. Lauren Williams, President, Brookridge Men's Club. I make a motion to allow the Brookridge Men's Club to continue with the community breakfast as listed above.
I second it. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
I also make a motion to allow Brookridge Men's Club to continue with horse races as listed above.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
This next letter was received on June 8th. BCPO Board of Directors, 7300 Brookridge Central Boulevard, Brookridge, Florida, 34613. Dear board members, I would like to request approval for the neighborhood fall craft garage sale on October 21st, 2023, and for the setup the night before and for the use of room E from September 26, 2023 to October 20th, 2023. These dates have been approved by the Community Activity Coordinator. I would like to request your approval for the public to attend the sale. Also, that you approve that the monitors be scheduled in such a manner on Friday, October 20th, 2023, so that no overtime is incurred. All proceeds will be designated to the clubhouse wish list. Thank you for consideration and considering these issues. Sincerely, Nancy Bacchiara. I make a motion to allow the neighborhood fall craft garage sale on October 21st, 2023, set up the night before and for the use of room E from September 26th, 2023 to October 20th, 2023. Also for this event to be open to the public and adjust the monitors schedules so that no overtime is incurred.
Nancy?
Also, she's here to make a change.
Yes. Nancy, would you like to come up? You wanted to amend a date. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. This is Nancy LaShera, Unit 1. Okay. We would like to change the date for the craft yard sale from October 21st to November 18th and have one big thing with the men's club with their breakfast and craft stickers also. Just have one big community day of having different things going on up here. And the two clubs have said yes, they would like to do this also with us. So we would like to know if we could, if the board would change the dates for us to the 18th of November.
Yes, amend the date.
A second,
Second the amended date.
all in favor of? Aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Arlene, do you have anything you need to say right now? Not yet. Not yet. Okay, all right. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. I wanted to come up here so everyone could see me, for those who are height challenged. The treasurer's report is as follows. You'll notice, very similar to last month, the operating expense, kind of the middle of the report. There's a current month, but no year-to-date number, and there's no year-to-date percentage. I'm uncomfortable putting the information there. I believe it's generally correct or directionally correct, but not to the penny until it is. I'm not going to list a good number. I'm going to list it only if it's a good number. Which brings me to the operating balances. The beginning balance of the month was $488,084. The ending balance is $439,090.74. Those are exact to the penny, by the way. The operating interest just for the month was $359.80. For the year to date, and this is just the operating part, is $2817.76. If you jump down a little to the middle of the page, for the reserves, the beginning balance was $2,329,089.11. The ending balance was $2,359,264.83. We have put in $263,850 from operating into reserve, and that is the equivalent of 5 months. We have to do 10 months in any standard year, so we're doing January through May. We're not doing one for June because of the expense from the $41,000 arbitration agreement. So we did not do one for June, but we will start again in July, and then July through November. The interest on these accounts, the month-to-date interest is $14.61. The year-to-date is $45.57.85. So if you're wondering, well, what's the total interest we've got in operating management reserves? It's $7,375 so far through May. The beginning balance for the donated funds is $28,609. The ending balance is $29,809. We've got donations in for a total of $29,015. We paid out $16.95 and also $19.15. So that's kind of the highlights for the report. Just as a point of reference, in July, we have 4 CDs, and later in the meeting I'll talk about that. We have 4 CDs that are maturing on those dollar amounts beginning $747, $600, $606, and $551. Those 4 balances added together will be increases on our interest amount that will go into either reserve or operating, because there's a combination. Some of it's reserve, some of it's operating. All right? That's the highlights.
Good evening, everyone. Wanted to tell you all, this is about our 90 days on the board. And we have accomplished quite a bit in 90 days. We've had a lot of things thrown at us. But I wanted to let you know, we could not be here doing what we're doing without you. So this is not about us, it's about you tonight. and the confidence that you put in us as a board. We work extremely well together. We like each other. We take everything that each of us says from however they say it, and we bring it all together. We've had to make some very hard decisions as a board, but we are moving forward. Every day we have something new that comes up that we weren't expecting. But without you and your confidence in your vote, to have us sit here and to do the people's work, which is what we were put up here for, we couldn't do that every month. We couldn't do it day in and day out. I also want to recognize Arlene tonight. She's our interim supervisor for Brookridge. She's in the process of, yes, do you want to take a bow? She's in the process of getting her CAM license, and so, yeah. So we're very happy. We know that you guys have seen a lot that we have done. We continue to do things every day. We fall down, we scrape our knees, and we get back up. And that's what a board does. We work for you. So on our 90 days, basically, thank you very much, and we'll continue on with the business tonight. And George right now wants to talk with everybody about some things that we found out about Gate Century. And is Harry still here? Is he hiding? I don't know. Oh, he's hiding way in the back. Oh, Harry, you didn't go to Catholic school or you'd be told to sit up front. How do I know that? So George wants to talk to you about what we have found out about Gate Century. It's quite interesting. I think it will put a perspective on all the stuff that everyone has been going through. Harry can fill in, and also Arlene can fill in if they forget something. They're a guy, so we'll make sure we keep Arlene around. But George, do you want to go ahead and let him know what you found out so far?
Yeah, Gate Century, what I found out, it's a nightmare. We have 3 companies involved with the gate. We got the inbound, the outbound, and the barcode. And nothing seems to be working together. When we put in the barcode system, it was never finished. It's just sitting there. Half the information, we don't even have it. They haven't even downloaded it. The inbound gate, there's a problem there. It's not, we got water in this bed. It's out of code. We were told it was good, but it's not. So it has to be repaired. A lot of the stuff that we paid for, that was asked last fall to the board of, did we get reimbursed any money for what they did? And the answer was nothing. Just a blind face. That's all they did to us. They would never come across. But we did find out yesterday, a gentleman came in on the outbound gate. He came in and he explained to us, to Harry, Arlene, and Vivian, that we have, one of them asked him, what was the cost of us to get this repaired and do it right? And the guy said, you already paid for it. It was never followed up by whoever to make sure this system is installed properly. It's not. So now we gotta go forward, like Jim said, don't look in the rear, we gotta go forward with it, if we're gonna keep it. I've done a little bit of research, and Gate Century, for Brookridge's cost was $12,000, I believe, $300 just to have them come here. Now we have to pay them $650 a month, which comes out to $7,800 a year. We're paying for something that we don't even have. And hopefully the gentleman that we have coming in can straighten this out. I have found out a lot of things. We're getting a lot of emails on why the gate we're not being notified, some people are showing up. We got people coming in from FedEx, we didn't get notified. Well, FedEx, I mean, come on, FedEx, UPS, Amazon, they're not gonna give every address they're gonna go to. I mean, they don't have time. There's no way possible. And my thing is, with Gates, with the guardhouse, them people are doing exactly the best that they can do with what they're working with, because everything is not working. And people are complaining about it, I'm sorry, and we understand, but we're trying to go forward and get this fixed. We were told Gate Century's been down since last October. Hasn't worked properly since last October, the barcode system. So we were told when we came on the board that we needed this part that was $2,800 to get DSX back up so we could read. And lightning couldn't hurt this. I guess under my understanding now that we probably don't even need the DSX once everything's up and working properly. So we've spent $2,800 that we were told we had to have. And in essence, I don't think we really needed it. But time will tell. And just please be patient with the guard crew out there. They're doing the best they can. Because if you can't do your job because of a program, that's where we're at with them. They're doing a heck of a job. And as far as Gate Century is concerned, I think it was jammed down our throats. Very much jammed down our throats. Was this the right thing to do for Brookridge? Time will tell. I have my doubts. But we're going to do what we have to do to move forward. We can't look back now. And like Debbie said, we've only been on the board 90 days. And look what's the stuff that we've done already. And we appreciate the backing of everybody. Without the residents, we would be nowhere. And we thank you all.
I just want to add one thing too. The gentleman who we met with yesterday did tell us that next Wednesday is when they are starting to do the install and hopefully pull all the pieces together. Like George explained, it's, you know, this piece, and we're trying to get everybody together to all talk to each other nicely, if you will. But the installation will start next Wednesday. He's hoping about a week. But, you know, if you see one of the gates up or closed or cones, just please be patient. And we are hoping that this will be an upgrade and we can move forward maybe into the 20th century at least, not the 21st, but no, he even did say it was from like 1990 or something. So some of the things are antiquated, and he did also indicate he was going to do a full topography map of where everything is, you know, not just like a little, oh, this might be this. So if something happens to him, God forbid, we could get another company in and they could follow the schematics. So fingers crossed, everybody, and thank you for your patience also.
Also, the wiring in the guardhouse is a dangerous situation. We have an electrician coming in tomorrow afternoon. He was gonna try to get here today, but he was unable to because he was up in Citrus County. He promised me he'd be here probably around 3:30 tomorrow afternoon and look the problem over and do what we have to do to fix it. Because it could be a fire hazard, what we have out there. And just know that Arlene, Harry, everybody, they're going forward and they're doing a great job. And I think, like Arlene just said, he'll get it straightened out. It might take him a week or two, we're not positive. And we'll just go from there with it.
And with the electrician, we don't know. They might even have to have the guard shack closed for several hours or something. So we don't know until he comes and diagnoses the problem and see what it is. But we know that there's a problem there. We just didn't know what it is, and so we're waiting for him to come and tell us. But we need to get that fixed ASAP. Someone could get seriously hurt in there. Every time, as you hear, lightning hits, it's out, it's this. Well, there's something wrong why that is happening. So we are going to go ahead and spend the money and get it corrected the first time the right way and not patch anything. So this might cost us several, maybe thousands of dollars to get it fixed.
Yeah, and I'd like to say just one other thing. previous employees had way too much power. They did what they wanted to do. And that's not the way this is supposed to run. This is supposed to be, the community should be looking into this. It should be everybody, not what's in the best interest of 3 or 4 people. It's the whole body here, and we thank you guys for being patient with us.
And at the end, I know you guys have some comments that you want to make. We'll get through the agenda items we have, and then we'll open it up for members' comments. Next on the agenda, this is unfinished business. This is because Jim decided to eat too much pizza and ice cream on us. And he was very involved in the Traffic Safety Committee recommendations for the placement of stop signs in Brookridge. So the motion is to approve Traffic Safety Committee recommendation placement of stop signs in Brookridge. To approve the Traffic Safety Committee recommendations as attached. And that is right here. Leo, would you like to read that one? The second page. Look, that right there. Oh, come on, Leo.
Okay, this is a letter dated April 20th, 2023, revised May 31st, 2023. From the Brookridge Traffic Safety Committee to BCPO Board of Directors. Recommendations for the BCPO Board of Directors to be put on the agenda for the next BCPO workshop. Placement of stop signs at the top of Country Club Drive and Dinsmore Street. Placement of stop signs at the top of Country Club Drive and Cedar Cove Avenue. We feel this will effectively slow traffic on this blind hill. Placement of stop signs at Country Club Drive and Mission Street. This will in effect make it a freeway stop, again slowing traffic and reducing speed in this area. There's an attached schematic for recommended placement of those signs. Thank you for your consideration on these issues. Tracy McCumber, Chairperson, and the Brookridge Traffic Safety Committee.
I do have a comment. Ms. Epstein, did you want to talk about this one? Okay.
Beverly Epstein, Unit 6. This is the third time this has come up, and I've spoken about it each time. Any committee that we have, any volunteers, I think are wonderful, but I'd like really to have better consideration for these stop signs. There, in my opinion, and people that I've spoken to, there are just too many stop signs in too close proximity. It's going to cause confusion, possibly accidents. I don't think we have many accidents on Country Club there. And people don't follow the stop signs anyway, unfortunately. But they have to consider the heavy-duty diesel trucks that are coming up, emergency vehicles, and I just think it's an overkill for a small area. And I'd like to have some consideration for that. But I do thank the committee. Their other suggestions are great.
Is there anybody with any comments regarding this? No? Any of us for discussion on what we think about all of this with the stop signs?
Yeah, I got a couple thoughts.
Okay.
My perspective is pretty simple. I actually had the opportunity to sit with Tracy's committee on Friday, on the meetings on Friday. I sat through all the discussion, and from what I've heard from Beverly and other members, some people don't understand why we're putting the stop sign. They don't agree that we should be putting the stop sign. They don't believe that putting the stop sign will slow the speeds down on Country Club. I have the exact opposite view. I think we should have the stop signs. I think it's a safety issue. I've been on Mid Hill many times. When you, just before you hit the very top of the crest of the hill, you can't see over. You just can't. It doesn't matter whether you're going east or whether you're going west. I see it as a safety issue. And what I don't want to do as a board member is have someone get in an accident, potentially pass away, and then have to talk to their family, their children, their grandchildren, their spouse, and say, I'm sorry your spouse passed away. We could have done something, and by putting the stop signs, I believe that is a very good first step. The comment that I've heard, well, it won't slow people down. Well, unless you completely blow through the stop sign, yeah, it will slow people down. These are neighborhood streets. All of our neighbors and friends live here. This isn't Indy, it's not Talladega, it's not the Daytona Speedway. I don't understand why we have to go so fast. 20 miles on Country Club is a very, in my humble opinion, is a very reasonable speed. I'm going to vote for this stop sign because I believe at the end of the day, it's a safety issue. That's my perspective.
Okay, I move for the board to approve the placement of stop signs in Brookridge as shown on the attached maps. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Debbie, I would just ask that not only for the folks sitting in the room and all the YouTube viewers, please slow down. I mean, life's too short. I just don't get it. It's 5 miles an hour, 20 to 25. What are you going to get there, 7 seconds faster? Please slow down. It's not that hard. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the sun, well, when it's here. And slow down and help your neighbors. Again, these are our neighbors. These are our friends.
And this doesn't have to be permanent. If we find out, because we are in charge of our roads, if we find out that something's not working, we can definitely modify it, change it, come back and look at it, just to give it a try and see what happens. That's what we're asking. Just let us try it, see what happens. If it doesn't work, we will be more than happy to come back to the table and look at something else. So I think you probably know that about us already, that we're more than happy to look at other avenues. But let's just see what happens. There was an accident on Sunday on Brookridge Boulevard in which a gentleman went into the tree. I was up there, the tree won, and luckily he was not hurt, but it could have been a lot different. And somebody coming down some of these roads where there's a hill, they're not paying attention, the sun, something like that, they're gonna get right there. So that's all we're asking for. So this one here is also previously tabled from unfinished business. This is the Traffic Safety Committee recommendations to move 2 existing 20-mile-an-hour signs on Country Club Drive. Leo, would you like to read the letter in back of that? Yes, thank you.
From the Brookridge Traffic Safety Committee to BCPO Board of Directors. Recommendations for the BCPO Board to be put on the agenda for the next BCPO workshop. Move the 2 existing 20-mile-per-hour signs on Country Club Drive to align with the existing 25-mile-per-hour signs on Country Club Drive. The first 20 miles per hour is in the side yard of 14284 Evermore Street. We recommend moving it to 7544 Country Club Drive. This will align it with the 25-mile-per-hour sign on the opposite side of the street. The second 20-mile-per-hour sign is located on Country Club Drive, directly across from 8092 Country Club Drive. We recommend it to be moved to 8133 Country Club Drive. This will align it with the 25-mile-per-hour sign on the opposite side of the street. There's an attached schematic for recommended placement. Thank you for your consideration of these issues. Tracy McCumber, Chairperson in Brookridge Traffic Safety Committee.
Thanks, Leo. Is there any comments about this? I move for board approval for the Traffic Safety Committee recommendations to move 2 existing 20-mile-an-hour signs on Country Club Drive in Brookridge as shown on the attached map. Do I have a second? All in favor? Unanimous?
Okay, what I'd like to just say is that the Traffic Safety Committee has been working on these issues for quite a long time. And they have, due diligently, have gone out to these different areas, checked all these signs, and they continue to do this throughout our community. They're doing one thing at a time, and I have to acknowledge Tracy and her group because you did a hell of a job. And thank you very much.
The next board agenda topic was from unfinished business when I was having ice cream. If that was only true. Yeah. The topic is an employee bonus, call it a recognition acknowledgement. Thank you, whatever you want to define it as. The analysis is Brookridge employees are our residents, first responders. Without them, I don't believe Brookridge can function efficiently, properly, or to the best of its ability. I'd like to recommend that we give a award and a recommendation to our dedicated employees. It's pretty simple. I'd like to say thank you. And I think the board, while I don't want to speak for the board or the unit reps, I think we'd all like to say thanks for all of the members, whether you're in code enforcement, whether you're in Billy's team in public works, working here in the clubhouse. It's the employees who keep this neighborhood running well. Who's the most important person in the neighborhood? Probably your spouse, but second behind them would be the code enforcement. So I propose, as a way of saying thank you, not only from me but from the other board members, to our hardworking employees, that we give all employees a $50 bonus. This bonus will be for all employees as of July the 1st. So if you're working here the 1st, one-time only bonus, $50, saying, hey, thanks, we appreciate the effort. Now with the $50, they can go buy an egg, maybe a quarter of a gallon of gas, soda. So can I get a second on that? All in favor? Aye. Passed unanimously. I'd actually like to call out the July 4th Freedom Bonus. So, it's for the formal name. Still on. Yep, I got a couple more. At a prior board meeting, I got this following question that I did not have an answer for, and we do have an answer. What does the association spend on the legal fees for the recently closed case against the association? That's the case where we had an arbitration award of $41,000 against us. The attorney fees for that case were $3,038.50. That amount covers all of 2022 and 2023 through May. The fees are only related to that one account. So it's not all of the attorney fees that we had. It's just for the attorney fees for that one specific case. So that's a grand total of $3,038.50. Last but not least, we have to talk about the CDs. There's a, I'm going to probably say it wrong, it's a bylaw article, Article 11, Section 1. Am I right? There we go. And essentially what I need is a specific placement. When we move funds, we need the board to approve that money to be moved as a specific placement. In July, we have 4 CDs that are maturing. In August, we have 2. In September, we have 1. So what I'd like to propose to the board is that when those mature, for example, on July 18th, July 19th, July 20th, July 26th, August 3rd, August 4th, and September 29th, that we make the decision and have the approval to make the decision to roll those CDs over to whatever's available at that time. The current rates now are about 5.25, which is an astoundingly high rate for CDs. Just to give you an idea, over the next 7 CDs that expire, we're probably going to have 7, 13, 19, 3, 35, 45, about $5,000 in interest just in the next 90 days, just for those CDs. Now, those don't count the other CDs that we have that we're getting paid monthly on. So we have, to give you an idea, we have 21 CDs in 19 different banks with various maturity dates and amounts. 4 of them are mature in July, 2 in August, 1 in September, 3 in October. The total funds in CDs, just CDs, is $1.8 million. The estimated yearly income is, if you started in January and you went through December, we would earn $95,000. Now, we got a late start. The prior board had let's call it a limited focus on investing in CDs. Is that a polite way to say that? And again, we're looking forward, as I said before. I work for Ford, we look in the front window, even true on GM products. We're not looking in the little tiny rearview mirror. We also have 4 money market accounts, just so everybody knows. Cap City, Brennan Bank, Edward Jones, and Regions Bank for a grand total of $2,233,000. So that's that 2.2 million is what's being invested that we're getting more than 0.35. We also got a couple small money markets that we're getting like a 10th of a point. Working on getting those taken care of. The estimate for, at least my rough estimate, is somewhere between 45 and 50,000 in 23, and somewhere between 80 and 85,000 earned in 24. So all that money can be used for new roads, new tree cutting down trees, fixing this, fixing that, fixing air conditioners. So what I'd like to do is get a second for that motion to reinvest that money.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Unanimous. And then 2 last things I had. Is Harry available?
He's hiding in the
I
back.
have a question that came in. What's the process, and I'm going to hand him the mic. What's the process for overnight parking? People who park between 1 and 6 a.m., what are we doing on those? Are the violations written? Do we put a tag on it? What's the complete process? And if Harry could just give us the highlights, that'd be appreciated. Then I'll know as well as the rest of us.
Formally, what was done was they would put a door hanger, a notice on the vehicle saying you shouldn't be doing this. And if the offender was still in the same position the following night or even a third night, only at that time was a citation issued. Okay? Not the way it should be. The parking out here at night is a real dangerous kind of a thing. Our roads are small. They're not, unfortunately, they're not particularly well lighted. Parking on the road in the middle of the day is an adventure. Parking on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning is insanity. There's got to be a better way. There's all kinds of places that people can park, either up here at the clubhouse parking lot, or even at the parking lot down at the office, if you're going to be in a situation where you have a problem of some sort. Obviously parking on grass is not recommended, or is it allowed, frankly, but there are times when that's the right thing to do. If you're painting your driveway or something of that nature, all you need to do is let the office know that, listen, I'm going to have to park on the grass here for the next couple of nights. That's fine. Getting it off the road is a critical thing. You can't park on the street, plain and simple. So, that's a long introduction to a short answer, which is, you're parking on the roadway, the night people write that up, the following day, it comes into our office, at the main office, and a citation is issued. If you do it again, there's another one going out. And then the third, by that time, somebody ought to be getting the hint. $25 a pop. So it's a pretty expensive way to park on the street. You can park at the airport for less money than that. So we think that's the right thing to do. We think that we need to do this for safety. I think it's very critical. We talk a lot about speed and about stop signs that are being avoided, which is all very valid, but top of the list is people parking unnecessarily in the middle of the night. Yes, sir?
You lose your privileges also?
Negative.
Why not?
Negative. Only because that's the way it's set up.
If you get a speeding ticket, you lose it, right? So why shouldn't you do it for that?
I don't dispute it. I'm only telling you the way it's set. And that, well, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. But I can tell you, no, seriously, I'm not being flippant, but there is a committee who is revising the rules and regulations, that's the governing document that covers that specific part of our governing documents. And I think that change is in one of their recommendations that they're about to make. Yes. Okay, but as of the moment, they don't. It's simply a speeding ticket. 3 of them, you do, but not the single ones, okay?
Harry, can I just interject? To the gentleman who asked about the suspension of privileges or whatever, the Rules and Regulation Meeting Committee has been working really hard, and we are probably going to end up having, with it all said and done, about 4 town halls just on all the revisions to get input and comments and things like that, and to explain all the changes that are made. They went through the entire rules and regulations, so that is coming up. Okay.
Okay, everybody's been asking this, and Ken Duncan and Anna Webster have resigned from the board. We got the resignation letters, and that's been taken, so we brought it forward tonight. And also, will Dick Carriol, hello? Dick, would you stand up? Yeah, sure. Hey, I'd like to thank Dick. He's done a lot for us since in the 90 days that we've been on here. He's been willing to go above and beyond, and I think he needs to be recognized for that. And I want to thank him myself and what he did. Even his Memorial Day weekend here was something else. And thank you, Dick, for all the time that you donate to Brookridge. And I got one other thing. Paul and Greg, stand up, please. The ACC, I'm going to get you up here. Paul is the new ACC chairman, and Greg is the co-chairman. If you have any problems, go see them. They'll help you out. And we're lucky to have them. They're good people. Thank you.
What's your address? All right, we'll open up the floor for our neighbors' comments. If you have any comments, you can come up to the podium. YouTubers, please, if you have any comments, make sure you give your name and your unit number. Thank you.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. Debbie asked me to speak briefly on the update for the development, which I'll do. But first, the Traffic Safety Committee, I'd like to thank the committee. They've been very diligent and have worked very hard on these things, and I'd like to thank all of them. And the board as well for your support. It's very important, and I think it's for the betterment of everyone, and I appreciate that. I'd also like to thank Lauren and the Men's Club have donated $200 towards no parking signs for Country Club as well. And we'd like to extend our gratitude for that, and thank you very much. Now that I'm on that, and I have something else to speak on, but as I'm speaking on traffic, we everybody that went to the town hall, we talked about an evacuation route, and we're in the final stages of getting that finalized. We will have the actual evacuation route posted at the office and here at the clubhouse as well. So everybody will have a designated color for their unit, and it will coincide with a map. So we'll get those posted when we get to that point. But we're working on new signs. They're going to say evacuation route and then have an arrow. So the old signs will be, we will no longer use those. We'll have brand new signs, and we will get those put up hopefully here very shortly. So I just want to thank the board again for their support on that. Now I'm going to jump to my other committee, which is the Development Committee, which I chair. I spoke on that last month and did give an update. In the interim, I do not have a lot of new information, as I reported last month, because nothing has really happened. But what I can tell you, the project is moving forward. They have commitments from businesses. They have investors, obviously. The project bill may be slow to get started because of local, state, federal permitting and licensing. So that's what's going to hold it up, if anything. But if not, we should see something coming at the end of the year or early next year. So I will have an update from Kevin Frazier, who is the developer, at the end of this month. And again, next month, I will report to the committee and to the community as to the progress on that. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Is there anybody? Oh, you want to? Yep. Vivian Blair, Unit 4.
Has a decision been made about the Tuesday morning workshop? Is it going to stay morning, go to evening? Any further discussion on that?
No, it is going to turn to a town hall, and we have already got the dates. We're going to start releasing the dates. We had to map out the dates all the way through the end of the year, but we have it all done with Petrona.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Linda, okay.
Linda Toporski, I'm the chair of the unit reps. I'm also from Unit 6. I'd like to, I guess I've become a little bit famous in the last week or so on social media. I'd like to thank all the positive comments that you folks have made, and on behalf of my unit reps, we're very happy to serve the community, but we need more volunteers. There's only 9 of us. So it takes a very little time commitment, and we'd really appreciate it if you consider joining us. And it's a really fun group. So thanks a lot.
And you don't have to live in the unit. If they have somebody for that unit, but they have a vacancy in another unit, you can still volunteer. And
it so happens that we have, Unit 4 is the biggest unit. We have usually 4 people. We only have 2 right now, and then also Unit 1. But we'll happily switch around. I'll even switch my own unit if anybody's really interested. But we really, not only the unit reps, but all of our committees need, especially like the 4th of July and 50-year anniversary. We'd all like some new volunteers because we see the same faces all the time. So out in YouTube land, listen up. Thanks a lot.
And speaking of the 50th, Debbie Burns is, we had a meeting with Debbie Burns before she left for vacation. I know Tracy has some volunteers. We were going to have, not a town hall, not a meeting, an informational session one night where we can all get together and see who would be interested to join the 50th birthday party committee and start having meetings and coming up with some ideas. So I'm going to put that out. We're waiting for her to come back from vacation, which is sometime later the end of this month. So just to let you all know about that. So we expect everybody who's here to come to that meeting and volunteer. Does anybody have anything else? No? You have anything, George? Extra? Okay.
Tomorrow is the last day for the ACC apps. They have to be in by close of business tomorrow night, is that correct? And then, if anybody's interested in the ACC committee, please put your apps in tomorrow. Appreciate it, thank you.
And Mike, we're still on, I see the signs for June 28th. June 28th, the clubhouse has to be closed all day to fix a valve. We had to, Mike had to coordinate that with the company who needs to fix the valve, and that company had to coordinate with Hernando County Water. They have to come and shut the water off to the entire building. So we will not have bathroom facilities or anything like that. I can tell you this, this was not our date. We were subject to Hernando County Water with their date. So I know it's a little short notice, but we were at their date and we could not go on our date. So we have to close, everything for the entire day so that they can make the repair. Wednesday, thank you. Yes, everything will be shut down because you have to have facilities open and there will be no men's or ladies' room facilities open that day.
Yeah, Debbie, also, on the note that we have posted on the doors, it also reminds the groups, because you have keys to your areas. If you decide to use that area that day, there may not be any water at your water fountain or anything. That's why we're telling people, just shut everything down for that day if they can.
Anything else? Oh, yes, ma'am?
I'm Marianne Lozelle, Unit 3. You heard from the deputy, and I'm just saying a little bit more. There will be a sign out front to announce when the next meeting is going to be. We are desperately needing new members. And if you're interested, in the news and views, under Crime Watch, you'll see how to get started into Crime Watch. But you're very welcome to come to a meeting to see if you would like to pursue it further. Thank you.
Thank you. Nobody else? Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll adjourn the meeting. It is 8:10. Second, Leo, you're seconding it? All in favor? Aye, unanimous. Thank you very much, everybody.